Tonight, severe storms slowing record holiday travel. 2 U.S. missionaries shot and killed in Haiti. And the seismic shift in college sports, the NCAA agrees to pay student athletes. First, that severe weather heading into the Memorial Day weekend. Possible tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail from Texas to Illinois. The flood threat from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia, New York to Boston. Thousands of flights delayed. The TSA bracing for what could be the busiest travel day ever. 45 million Americans expected to drive or fly over the holiday. Trevor Ault standing by. The chilling headline in Haiti. 2 American missionaries, a husband and wife, shot and killed by gang members in Port-au-Prince. Their murders coming after President Biden and the president of Kenya pledged support for a new UN-backed police force in Haiti. Selina Wang with the president of Kenya. Breaking news concerning Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. The Pentagon revealing he's undergoing a medical procedure today, transferring his duties to a deputy. It comes months after he was secretly hospitalized for complications from prostate cancer. Not even President Biden had been told. The American father sentenced for bringing ammunition into Turks and Caicos. He was facing a possible 12-year prison sentence. What a judge decided instead, and what this signals to 4 other Americans facing similar charges. Israeli troops recovering the bodies of 3 more hostages killed during the October 7th terror attack. Israel believes about 100 hostages are still being held in Gaza. This as the UN International Court orders Israel to immediately stop its military operation in Rafah. Britt Clennett in Tel Aviv tonight. Here in the U.S., a landmark decision in college sports. For the first time ever, the NCAA agreeing to pay student athletes for playing. The documentary filmmaker behind the movie Super Size Me dying after his private battle with cancer. And America Strong tonight, the pilot and pioneer, the first black woman to fly in the U.S. Air Force, celebrating her final flight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. I'm Whit Johnson in for David. We begin tonight with a severe storm threat heading into what is shaping up to be a record Memorial Day weekend. 45 million Americans on alert for severe weather, nearly an equal number of people traveling. That dangerous weather stretching across the center of the country, from Austin, Texas to Chicago. Possible tornadoes, strong winds, and large hail. The system pushing into the Northeast on Monday. More than 24 reported tornadoes in 6 states over the last 24 hours, including a tornado touching down in Jackson County, Oklahoma. Bumper-to-bumper traffic in Chicago at this hour. More than 38 million people are expected to be driving this weekend, a record high. TSA bracing for what could be the busiest travel day ever at our nation's airports. Thousands of flights already delayed. We'll have the forecast in just a moment. But first, ABC's Trevor Ault leads us off.
Tonight, severe weather once again threatening the plans of millions of travelers trying to get away for the holiday. The past 24 hours, a relentless stretch of more than 300 storm reports from Texas to Maine, including more than 24 reported tornadoes. This monstrous multi-vortex EF2 spotted southwest of Oklahoma City with winds of 120 miles an hour. But the threatening weather is not stopping people from packing airports coast to coast.
Were you expecting all the travelers here today?
Not at 6 in the morning, I wasn't.
So there are lines here at Newark, but they're really moving them through. In fact, TSA says yesterday they screened nearly 2.9 million people at their checkpoints. That makes it their second busiest day ever.
And United Director of Operations John Wygand says today is expected to be their busiest day ever.
We've been planning for it for months.
Yeah.
We've known it's going to happen, and praying for good weather.
Also praying for good weather, the 38.4 million people on the roads for their holiday trip, with storms targeting major cities tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, and a flood threat for the Northeast Monday. Millions will be keeping their eyes on the skies.
And with the worst of the congestion should be just about over for today, but you can expect some serious backup with those millions of drivers basically all afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Whit.
All right, we will brace for that. Trevor, thank you. Let's get right to WABC meteorologist Jeff Smith. And Jeff, those severe storms will be on the move through Memorial Day.
Unfortunately, yet another multi-day severe weather outbreak on the way. Starting tonight, we have severe thunderstorm watches in effect right now through 10 p.m. Central. from northeastern Texas up through parts of Illinois. The big concern is what's going to be happening 24 hours from now. Tomorrow evening, a moderate risk issued by the SPC. You never like to see that red shading on the map. Violent tornadoes possible in places like Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Wichita, and that threat will head off to the east into parts of the Ohio Valley during the day on Sunday. Not only violent tornadoes, could be hail in excess of 4 inches in diameter. The severe threat not as high by the time this reaches the East Coast, but the flooding threat could be high just north and west of New York City. Wait.
Jeff Smith, it's great to have you tonight. We appreciate it. We move on now to the horrific attack in Haiti. 2 American missionaries shot and killed by gang members in Port-au-Prince. Their murders coming after President Biden and the president of Kenya pledged support for a plan to send a UN-backed police force to Haiti. Here's ABC's Selina Wang.
Tonight, a deadly attack on American missionaries in Haiti's capital. Oklahoma-based Missions in Haiti says 23-year-old Davy Lloyd and his wife, 21-year-old Natalie, were ambushed and killed along with the group's Haitian director. The founder of the charity says he was on the phone with his son Davy and daughter-in-law for hours as the horror unfolded.
He's like, "Oh, Dad, I gotta go." He goes, "There's a bunch more guys coming in the yard."
The group holed up in the house, pleading for help, while the gang shot all the windows out of the house. Missions in Haiti unable to get them a police evacuation or to negotiate with the gang before losing contact.
He just wanted to take that revenge out on my son and daughter-in-law and Jude, from what I can tell.
Natalie Lloyd's father, Missouri State Representative Ben Baker, saying in a Facebook post, "My heart is broken in 1,000 pieces. I've never felt this kind of pain." This latest ambush coming just hours after President Biden hosted Kenya's president at the White House, saying the U.S. will lend support to a Kenyan-led security mission in Haiti.
This is a crisis. It's able to be dealt with.
Late today, we asked Kenya's President William Ruto about the 1,000 police officers heading to Haiti.
A group of missionaries, including Americans, were killed in Haiti last night by gangs. Can the Kenyan forces stop that kind of violence?
Yes. We believe we have what it takes. I think we have the best chance to deal with the gangs and to secure Haiti once and for all.
And with more than 1,300 Americans have been evacuated from Haiti ever since that country has been gripped by gang violence. But a U.S. official says that several hundred Americans still remain. Now, Davy Lloyd's father tells us that his son was devoted to his work and that he's wanted to be a missionary in Haiti ever since he was a child. Whit.
Selina Wang for us tonight. Thank you. Now to the news breaking late today about the health of Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. The Pentagon revealing he's undergoing another medical procedure. Let's get right to ABC's senior national correspondent Terry Moran. And Terry, this all comes after a previous health scare that he kept secret.
It does. With tonight, the Pentagon is telling us that Secretary Austin will undergo an elective and non-invasive procedure at the Walter Reed Medical Center. This is a follow-up to the bladder issue that put him in the hospital back in January following prostate cancer surgery. Secretary Austin has determined that since he will not be able to perform his duties during the procedure, he will temporarily turn over those responsibilities to Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks. President Biden and Congress have been notified of this transfer of authority this time. Of course, as you mentioned, last time they weren't informed, not even President Biden. And that secrecy drew widespread criticism. Secretary Austin ultimately apologizing to the president and the country for his lack of transparency. And one more note, the Pentagon telling us tonight that Secretary Austin's cancer prognosis remains, quote, excellent. Whit?
An encouraging note there. All right, Terry Moran, thank you. Now to the American father sentenced for bringing ammunition into Turks and Caicos. He was facing a possible 12 years in prison. Instead, he's now returning home after paying a fine. Tonight, what this could mean for the other Americans facing similar charges. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
Tonight, Brian Hagerich headed home to Pennsylvania as a free man, racing through the airport in Turks and Caicos on his way to finally see his 2 children after spending 101 days on the islands, where he faced a possible 12-year prison sentence for having ammo in his luggage.
We're on the airplane.
A relieved Hagerich and his wife Ashley earlier today, after a judge gave him a suspended 52-week sentence and a $6,700 fine, allowing him to go free.
It's the best day.
God is so good.
Yes, all of our prayers have been answered.
Hagerich had pleaded guilty, saying he'd forgotten the ammo was in the bag when he went on vacation back in February. Still, the crime carried a minimum of 12 years in prison due to a strict new amendment to the island's firearms law. But the judge today finding exceptional circumstances in his case and determining that sentence to be unjust and disproportionate to the crime committed. Tonight, Hegerich and his wife say they will continue to advocate for the other 4 Americans accused of similar charges.
We've set some precedent today. Our work is not done until all of them get home.
They're our family, we love them,
Yes.
and we can't wait till they're reunited with their families.
We're all in this together.
Now, the big question, what happens to the other cases and sentences involving the other 4 Americans charged with similar things in Turks and Caicos? Does this ruling set a precedent? Meanwhile, the Turks and Caicos government saying that justice has been served in this case as the law intended.
Matt Rivers, thank you. Now to more breaking news tonight. Louisiana's governor signing a controversial bill reclassifying 2 abortion pills as controlled and dangerous substances. Opponents say the new classification will make it harder to prescribe the pills, but supporters say it will protect pregnant women from coerced abortions. Possessing the drugs without a prescription could lead to possible jail time. Now to a groundbreaking moment sure to redefine college sports. For the first time ever, the NCAA agreeing to allow schools to directly pay student athletes for playing. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, for the first time, the NCAA agreeing to let student athletes get paid for playing, reaching a landmark revenue sharing deal with the 5 largest athletic conferences that could profoundly change the college sports landscape. Under the proposed agreement, Division I athletes could receive payments as early as next year, with the NCAA allocating roughly $20 million annually for schools to distribute among athletes. It also includes a $2.8 billion settlement in damages open to any Division I athlete who played as far back as 2016 to be paid out over the next decade. It was just in 2021 that the NCAA first allowed athletes to earn money by selling their name, image, and likeness rights to advertisers.
The biggest charade in college sports for a number of years has been pretending like these are amateurs. The people that run the NCAA have tried to pretend it was something else, and today it finally caught up to them.
This proposed agreement still needs to be approved by a federal judge in California.
Yeah, still a lot of questions about what this means going forward. Stephanie, thank you. Tonight, Israeli troops have recovered the bodies of 3 more hostages from Gaza. The victims killed during the October 7th terror attack. Israel believes about 100 living hostages are still being held in Gaza. This comes as the UN International Court ordered Israel today to immediately stop its military operation in Rafah. ABC's Britt Clennett reports from Tel Aviv.
Tonight, the IDF announcing it conducted a nighttime raid to recover the bodies of 3 hostages taken by Hamas on October 7th. Special forces acting on Israeli intelligence to locate the bodies of Michelle Nissenbaum, Orion Hernandez Radu, and Hernan Yablonka. Israeli officials say all 3 were killed during the attack, their bodies then taken to Gaza. It comes as the top UN court today ordered Israel to immediately cease all military operations in Rafah, citing imminent danger to civilians.
The court is not convinced that the evacuation efforts and related measures that Israel affirms to have undertaken are sufficient.
Strikes reported in Rafah today as that UN court met. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government today flatly rejecting that court ruling, saying in a statement Israel has not and will not carry out military activity in the Rafah area that creates conditions that could lead to the destruction of the Palestinian civilian population.
Despite its ruling, that UN court has no real way to enforce its order, instead having to rely on governments using tools like targeted sanctions or arms embargoes.
Britt Clennett in Tel Aviv tonight. Thank you. Today we learned documentary filmmaker Morgan Spurlock has died following a private battle with cancer. The director was best known for his movie Super Size Me, consuming only fast food from McDonald's for 30 days. He also made headlines opening up about his personal battles. Here's ABC's Steve Osinsami.
Is fast food really that bad for you?
I mean, what would happen if I ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight?
He's the award-winning documentary filmmaker who spent much of his career helping Americans live healthier and longer. But tonight, the family of Morgan Spurlock is announcing that cancer has tragically cut his life short. and that he died in New York surrounded by friends and loved ones. He's best known for his classic, tongue-in-cheek, in the 2004 film Supersize Me.
Would you like to supersize it today?
Oh, yes, I would.
Where he gained more than 20 pounds after a 30-day diet of fast food.
You saw these numbers, right? These numbers are absolutely outrageous.
The film was celebrated as a wake-up call to worldwide consumers of burgers and French fries. He was nominated for an Oscar, and at the same time, fast food chains started removing supersized portions from their menus. He helped to get fast food consumers noticing the power of words like crispy.
Fried is kind of gone from the fast food vernacular. Everything is crispy because it doesn't sound bad for you. Fried's bad, but crispy is nice. It's kind of crunchy.
In 2019, he spoke to Nightline as he was opening a new chicken chain about getting sober, dealing with manic depression, and taking accountability for past sexual misconduct that nearly derailed his own career. He even shared how he settled a case with a former assistant.
I'm excited to see who this filmmaker is now that comes out of this process versus the one that was there before.
His family says that some of his films still play in health classes in high schools across the country. Morgan Spurlock was 53 years old. Whit?
Steve Osinsami, our thanks to you tonight. A somber day in Uvalde, Texas, the community marking 2 years since the deadly mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. Families are spending the day at the cemetery and gathering with others, paying tribute to the 19 children and 2 teachers killed that day. President Biden sending a letter to the community, hoping they find comfort in reflecting on the memories of the victims and saying more must be done to prevent mass shootings in America. When we come back tonight, 8 people hospitalized after a terrifying airboat crash in Florida. And tonight, Travis Kelce responding to teammate Harrison Butker's controversial comments. Next tonight, at least 8 people were injured following an airboat crash in Kissimmee, Florida. Authorities say 10 people were on the boat when it hit a sandbar. All the crew and passengers have been accounted for. The U.S. Coast Guard is now investigating. When we come back, Travis Kelce reacting to his teammates' controversial commencement address, and an aviation trailblazer takes her final flight. To the Index now, Travis Kelce responding to those controversial comments by his Kansas City Chiefs teammate Harrison Butker. The Chiefs kicker under fire for his commencement speech at Benedictine College, telling women graduates their most important title should be homemaker. Kelce says he doesn't agree with just about any of Butker's views, but he cherishes him as a teammate. A new blood test to screen for colon cancer is one step closer to FDA approval. An FDA panel green-lighting the test, saying the benefits outweigh the risks. Health experts caution that colonoscopies are still the best method for detection, but they are invasive and require anesthesia and time off of work. When we come back, America Strong, the pioneering aviator, soaring to unprecedented heights. Finally tonight, America Strong, the trailblazing pilot after soaring above the clouds for decades, taking her final commercial flight.
Captain Teresa Claiborne receiving cheers from colleagues and loved ones.
I get it. Thank you. Thank you all. Congratulations.
An emotional reunion after piloting her final commercial flight. A trailblazer selected as the first black female pilot by the U.S. Air Force.
7 years on active duty and 13 years in the reserves. When I graduated from pilot training, I did not know that I was the first until about 2 weeks prior to graduation.
And among the first hired by United Airlines 34 years ago. Along the way, serving as a mentor to other women of color eager to follow the same path.
Diversity is important. And we have a saying, if they can see it, they can be it. If little black girls don't know they can be pilots, guess what? That's not something they're going to choose. That's an opportunity that we give them.
Captain Claiborne's final 6.5-hour flight for United was from Lisbon, Portugal to Newark Liberty International Airport on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Over her entire career as a pilot, she logged 23,000 flight hours. Tonight, reflecting on her legacy and impact on future generations.
When I see my legacy in action, when I see these young women who are now flying for an airline that were not flying for an airline when I first met them, it's phenomenal. I'm tickled. I'm retired. Everything doesn't stop. I mean, I still have lots of work to do.
And still opening doors for so many. What a story. Thanks so much for watching tonight. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. I'll see you on GMA in the morning. Have a great night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.